Backstage is an old home reunion today for me. I know all these people 100 years, you know. And somebody said, hey, where'd you get the fancy suit? How come you don't have the green suit anymore? A lot of you see me with that little green suit and the high-top button shoes and that little flat green hat. I wore it for years, yeah. But I worked 4 years with Hank Williams Jr., and we played fairs out in Montana, and every day they had a rodeo, and every day I went to watch a rodeo because I like to watch them cowboys ride. Man, and they're all bow-legged, you know, and they come in that arena on those horses, and here they come, you know, and they come over that horse with that hat in their hand, and then bow-legged they walk out of there. I walked the same way. I never rode a horse in my life. When I was a kid, I walked around till I was 11 years old with a wet diaper on, you know. You get the same effect. I tell stories for a living, you know. And, of course, a lot of things happen to you in real life. And you tell them to somebody and they say, that's funny. Why don't you tell it on the stage? So I tried a few of them and they were funny. For instance, I was in Vanderbilt Hospital and was making some tests on me. And I heard a big commotion down the hall, and I kind of peeped around there so I could see from my room what was happening. And there was a delightful-looking lady there, pleasingly plump, about 50-ish, a little bit of gray around here, you know, and she was mad. Oh, was she mad. She said, I don't believe you, doctor. I don't believe a word you're saying, and I am not going to listen to you. I won't hear another word of it. I don't believe. She stopped up her ears, and she was gone down the hall. And a young intern came down the hall, and I saw him coming, so I got out there close to where I could see what was going on. And he walked into this office where this old doctor was, and this old doctor was just chuckling, you know. And he said, Doctor, what did you tell that delightful lady that upset her so terribly bad? He said, I told her she's going to have a baby. He said, well, is she, doctor? He said, no, but I sure as hell stopped her hiccups. I read that over here in San Antonio, a 19-year-old blonde stenographer sued a man 85 years old for breach of promise. How about that, huh? What I want to know is what he promised her at 85. It'd be like getting a sack of peanut brittle when you ain't got no teeth, wouldn't it? There was an old man, 90 years old, and every day he used to take a walk down the street with his cane. One morning, the old man didn't come home. About 30 days, he didn't come home. He finally showed up, and the whole family met him at the door, said, Grandpa, where have you been? He said, in jail. They said, in jail? They said, well, Grandpa, you know you didn't commit a criminal offense. Now, what did they have you in jail for? He said, well, he said, I was taking a walk down the street, and a beautiful 18-year-old girl with a policeman ran right up to me and says, that's him, officer. That's him. That's the man that molested me on the street last night. And he said, I just felt so dadgum proud I pleaded guilty. I ain't going to tell no more old men jokes getting too close to me. Truck driver was driving down the road Sunday afternoon. He's lonesome, away from home, pulled into his favorite truck stop. And, brother, he ordered a big steak, a baked potato, and a salad. And just when he went to eat it, here come three guys from Hell's Angels. Mean, rough, tough. They come in there stomping their heels, you know, black jackets, black helmets. They grabbed that truck driver's steak, tore it in three pieces, ate it like a dog, ate the baked potato, turned the salad upside down, and the truck driver just got up and looked at them and laughed and walked out. And one of these mean Hell's Angels worked his way over to the cashier, and she was an elderly lady and a kindly old soul. And he looked at her and pointed to where that truck driver had been. He said, he wasn't much of a man, was he? She said, no. And he's not a very good truck driver either. He just ran over them 3 motorcycles parked out in front. In a little town in Ireland, there was a fellow named Pat O'Reilly. Now, there's nothing unusual about a man in Ireland being named Pat O'Reilly because they got a lot of them. But everybody knew this Pat O'Reilly because he rode a bicycle. And he rode it to and fro, up and down, round and around. When you'd see Pat, you'd see the bicycle. But one day he come walking down the street and he met the good father of the parish. And the father says, "Pat, where's your bicycle?" He said, "Oh, Father," he said, "somebody stole me bicycle." He said, "Are you sure they stole it, Pat?" He said, "I know they stole it." He said, "Did you report it to the police?" He said, "Already 3 days the police have been looking for the bicycle." He said, "Have you done everything, Pat?" He said, "I've done everything, Father." He says, "Pat, did you pray?" He said, "No, Father, I didn't pray." He said, "Pat, tonight I want you to pray on the 10 Commandments, and when you come to that, thou shalt not steal, hit it hard, and you may drive home a vibration to the one that stole your bicycle, and they bring it back to you." He said, "I'll do it, Father." About 3 or 4 days later, here come old Pat riding that bicycle, right down the street. He met the good father, and the father said, "Pat, I see you got your bicycle." He said, "Did you pray?" He said, "I did, Father." He said, "When you come to that, thou shalt not," he said, "Wait a minute, Father, I never even got to that one, because the one right in front of it says, thou shalt not commit adultery," and when I read that, I remembered where I left that bicycle. I tell you, I'm going to try to play the banjo right here. Killing me. Let me get out of here.
At 75, he's still trucking. Whitey Ford, the Duke of Paducah.